two, three. 1, 2, 3. Guys, let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. Everybody. Put this here. Please like and share this video. Like and share. Happy Wednesday. All right. Just setting up a couple of things. Yeah, we have to talk about Jasmine Crockett, honey. She lost. And January 1st of 2027, she's going to be unemployed. Well, she won't be in Congress. I'm pretty sure she could easily find another job, probably on TV. But we're going to have to talk about her defeat. Yes, because I could tell you where she went wrong. She went wrong talking too much about racism, too much about Trump, and you in Trump land. You running for the Senate for the state of Texas in Trump land, Texas. And you talk about how much you hate Trump and Trump is racist. Girl, that's why you lost. Stick to the people and what the people need and what they want. Too much sister girl, too much racism here and there. Trump is bad. And you got defeated by a Latino. He wasn't talking anti-Trump. He wasn't even talking anti-Republican. He was talking pro the people. What do you need? What do you want? I'm here. Tell me. Support me. Donate. Vote for me. He stuck to the program. Talarico. And we are going to break it down. Yes, honey. That mouth wrote a check that her ass couldn't cash. Yeah. The embarrassment. That's why I put Trump up here laughing. Listen, he ain't thinking about her because he need to focus on Iran. Because you said 4 to 6 weeks. So now you floating around possible troops on the ground because they already put a notice in the 50,000 military soldiers to be on standby. Well, as long as you wrap this up in no more than 6 weeks, let them go in. I don't know. But it better be wrapped up in a bow tie in 6 weeks. Because if not, you done lost the midterms for Republicans and you could forget about 2028. Could forget about it. So we'll get to that a little bit later. Of course, okay, I'm going back to Migrant Wednesdays. And I do have a little story, but the focus is Jasmine. I do have a little story about migrants, but that's later too, because we got to focus on Jasmine. Hi, Sylvia. Yes, Dexter. Al Green is going too. Al Green, old ass. You want to bring all these signs, getting kicked out of State of the Union? He's going to. Let me tell you something about Black people or just American people. They tired of the "we shall overcome." That's we done moved on from that. We overcame and then some. All that Edmund Pettus Bridge, don't nobody care. Care but don't care. It's old news. So let's get into it. Let's get into Jasmine. Honey, she finally broke her silence. Well, actually, let me read this first. Get some charts up. Let me get this chart up. Well, we know that State Representative James Talarico has officially secured the Democratic nomination, defeating U.S. Representative Jasmine Crockett. Talarico's campaign focused on top versus bottom populist message, which resonated across key demographics. James Talarico, He won by 53.2%. You need to have over 50% to avoid a runoff. There will not be a runoff. Jasmine Crockett got 45.5%. Ahmad Hassan, nobody knows that person, 1.3%. So Talarico avoided a runoff by clearing over the 50% threshold. He performed strongly among white and Hispanics voters. That is the same demographic that Jasmine Crockett insulted in the state of Texas, to be exact. As well as he won over independents who participated in the Democratic primary. Now, I'm surprised that that independents could participate in primaries, because you need to be registered to one of the parties to vote in the primaries. So I don't know. Now, on the Republican side, John Corner, they're facing a runoff. John Corner versus Ken Paxton. John Corner got 41.9, Ken Paxton 40.8. So again, no one reached the 50 mark, so they have to do a runoff. Thank you, Courtney. Oh, I got to put a goal up today, honey. And should I open up the phone lines today? Should I open up the phone lines? Thank you, Stan. The gym is paying off. Dana looking fabulous. Thank you, honey. I got my silk press today, and I took my dog out after I got my hair done for a walk, and it was real foggy out, so the curls did drop a little bit, but I'm gonna pin it up tonight. This is the 2026 Texas State Republican primary results here. Ken Paxton, 40%. John Conyers, 41%. So they're going to do a face-off. Wesley Hunt, he got 13%. I didn't even know he was in a race. So yeah, Paxton holds a significant lead among Trump movement voters, while Corner maintains a lead among traditional Republicans and college-educated voters. So that is going to be the race that we need to look out for. Let's see here. I'm doing a grasp before I get to the videos, and I do have videos, honey. So yeah, this is the Democrats versus the Republican results here. So early polling for the general election suggests highly competitive environment through Texas remains rated as likely Republican. So, people believe that Republicans are going to maintain that Senate seat. However, oh no, that's fundraiser. This wasn't the one I wanted. Hypothetical general election matchups. So Talarico won the primaries, and he's going to go up against either Paxton or Corner. Right now, they have Paxton edging out Talarico 46-44. That would be a runoff. So whoever Talarico goes up against, the Republican, is probably going to end up being a runoff. And that election, of course, is in November. If he goes up against Corner, it's 44-43. Talarico, a Democrat, has a very good shot in winning the Senate race for the state of Texas. Talarico is favorable amongst Republicans voting blue, amongst Latino and white Republicans, and you could probably sprinkle in some black Democrats. He is popular amongst white and Latino Democrats and some white and Latino Republicans. So let me rephrase that. Talarico is popular amongst Latinos and white Democrats. Latinos is a very large population in the state of Texas. I don't know why Jasmine Crockett said that they have a slave mentality, the Latinos that voted for Trump, because in Texas, in order for Talarico to win the Senate seat against a Republican, some Republicans are going to have to vote blue. And he has a very good chance in doing so. So this is a hypothetical matchup here against Talarico and either Paxton or Corner, because Corner and Paxton, they're going to have to do a runoff. Now let's look at the money. James Talarico, he raised $20 million. John Cornyn raised $11 million. Ken Paxton only $5 million. So Talarico war chest is deep. He has a very large war chest, $20 million. I don't know how much Jasmine Crockett raised. She claims she didn't take money from AIPAC. Maybe she should have. But right now, no one is going to be talking about Jasmine Crockett any longer when it comes to this race. Now, she plans on suing the state of Texas, but I'm going to get to that in a second. Now, here are some important dates. May 26th of 2026, that is going to be the Republican primary runoff. And November the 3rd is the general election for the midterms this year. So with that said, let me play a couple of videos here.
Millions of Americans hitting the polls yesterday for a handful of pivotal primaries last night, including key races in North Carolina, Arkansas, and Texas.
Meantime, Doug Lazader joins us live from Washington with the results. Doug.
Hey, good morning, guys. A lot of races to talk about, so let's start with that Texas Senate race that attracted so much attention and money. On the Democratic side, James Talarico defeated Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett in that hotly contested primary. In a victory speech, Talarico said he was going to take back Texas.
This movement is about whether the people will hold the power in this state and in this country. We launched this underdog campaign 6 months ago in my hometown of Round Rock, Texas. And since then...
I'm sorry, honey. Did I say Ruco? It's Talarico. Sorry.
And since then, tens of thousands of Texans have shown up to rally with us in every corner of the state.
All right, Jasmine Crockett, meantime, cited voting issues in Dallas and said that, in her words, people have been disenfranchised. Now, we don't know yet what Republican Talarico is going to face. The Republican race there is going to come down to a runoff in May between Senator John Cornyn and State Attorney General Ken Paxton in what has been a bruising primary. A few other races also in Texas. State Representative Steve Toth defeated Congressman Dan Crenshaw in the GOP primary. Shifting now to North Carolina, where former Governor Roy Cooper picked up the Democratic nomination for the now open Senate seat there. He'll go on to face former RNC Chairman Michael Whatley, who won the Republican primary. In Arkansas, Senator Tom Cotton easily won his primary, as expected. For Democrats, the nod went to Hallie Schaffner. And back to that high-profile Texas race for a moment. It's worth noting that no Democrat has won a statewide race in Texas in more than 30 years. Todd National.
But if Republicans keep spending all their money on a primary, which is look like it's going to happen into May 26th, I don't know. That does leave a little bit of an opening for Democrats, so we will see. Doug, thank you.
Thank you.
And now we're going to bring in Aaron McGuire from Axiom Strategies. Aaron, thanks for getting up with us. Your reaction to this last night?
There's a lot of big stories coming out right now out of last night's election, and one of them is going to be the Latino vote in Texas. That's really what propelled James Talarico over Jasmine Crockett. And Jasmine Crockett is set to likely, this will likely be the end of her political career as we know it. She had to not run in the primary for her House seat. So I imagine you'll see her leftist nonsense all over the news going forward, including her election denialism here. But that Latino vote you see in Texas is going going to be a key indicator going not only into the runoff for Republicans, but also into the general election. This is a base that moved quite frequently. You saw a big move in the 2024 election for those Latino voters toward Republicans. And are we going to see that pendulum swing back? With this runoff coming in May, you will see what is going to continue to be one of the most expensive primary in U.S. history. All eyes on Texas.
You know, the Democrats, they have their pick. They're set. Do you think this is going to hurt the Republicans at all? Because they have a little bit of work to do.
Yeah, there is going to be no love lost between Ken Paxton and John Cornyn in this, 3-month runoff, the runoff into May here. And you're going to see a lot of money, like I said, come in. Senator Cornyn had about $70 million come in to try and propel him in this primary. To Ken Paxton's about $5 million. And there's, like I said, no love lost between the two of them. But the good news is this is the earliest primary on the calendar, right? We saw it here in March. The runoff is in May. And let me tell you, that is still a lot of time, politically speaking, into the general election. So even in what will be an incredibly bruising fight between two Texas heavyweights, you will see there is plenty of time for them to run on their record and run on their message versus.
Let me just pause it right there, because I did a show way back and I only touched on it briefly. Ken Paxton has a very nasty background. He took money, stole some money. He has an affair scandal, but people don't really push you aside for that. He wanted the taxpayers to pay for money that he fraudulently took, and the state Supreme Court said hell to the no. So he does have a bit of a dirty type of history resume that John Cornyn is going to use. Did I say his name right? Because I'm tearing people's names up. Yes, John Cornyn. So John Cornyn is going to use all of Ken Paxton's dirty deeds that he has been doing in the state of Texas to win. But again, this is why Talarico is the favorite. A Democrat may win the Senate seat in Texas because Talarico is the Democrats' golden boy. He's not sassy. He's not nasty. He didn't say anything anti-Trump. He is focusing on the people. He is Latino. He looks white. And he probably have some type of, plan on his agenda for the Black population in Texas. He checks off all the boxes. Talarico. Ken Paxton is dirty. John Cornyn, we got to see, what dirt they're going to dig up on him. The Republicans have a lot of work to do in Texas. And then two, listen, Trump is not going to get into this race before the runoff, I think. So the only way for a Republican to win that Senate seat is if Trump touches them with the Midas touch.
James Talarico, who is a good fundraiser, but is really a wolf in sheep's clothing when it comes to being a radical leftist and not a right fit for Texas as a senator.
So do you think the Democrats stand any chance of flipping this? I don't know if you heard Doug Luzader there right before he came to you. He said that there's been no Democrat that has won a state primary in 30 years.
Yeah, I call it the big Texas blue fever dream they have every cycle, where Democrats play this game where they dump hundreds of millions of dollars into Texas just to light it on fire. You can look at Beto, I was born to do it, Robert Francis O'Rourke. You can look at Colin Allred. You can look at the lady in the sneakers who stood on the Texas floor. Texas Democrats are trying to play the long game here, where they think they can slowly move the electorate versus trying to win flat out. Talarico is the quote-unquote moderate that Democrats wanted versus the radical of Jasmine Crockett. Right. But now they get to litigate Talarico's stance. He's never really had anybody push him in a race before. So this is going to be one that is going to see Democrats yet again spend a lot of money, likely, and for not the result of a victory. This will remain a Republican Senate seat.
Okay.
Listen, that's you talking good, but I don't know. So listen, let's go to last night. Let's go to last night. Because Jasmine Crockett is now claiming, they're cheating, they're suppressing your vote. Let's go to here.
Asking you, I am begging, all red has already stated. We encourage each and every one of you to remain resilient. We cannot allow this type of behavior to be rewarded, because so long as they know that they can win, even if it means cheating, then they will continue to do it. So I am asking you, I am begging you to make sure that you go ahead and figure out where it is that you are supposed to vote. Stand in line, wait in line. All red has already stated.
So Texas did have some issues last night and then I started to get a little confused. Polls are supposed to close at 9, and then they were saying they're closing at 7. And then some places were saying, well, some polls are going to stay open to 9 for only Democrats, close at 7 for Republicans, or vice versa. There was an issue with the time the polls close, but if you are in line, you supposed to be guaranteed to be able to still vote if you are in line by the time polls close. But what time were they supposed to close? 7, 8, or 9 o'clock? Because people got to get off work. They got to drive through traffic. If they got to pick up their kids, So staying open to 8, 9 o'clock is the ideal time. That's the usual time. But all of a sudden, particularly in Dallas, they had a problem with polls closing at 7. Some polls staying open to 9 for Democrats, which makes no sense. So she has a point with this clip, and this is before her main speech, because I'm gonna play her speech after she realized she lost. So I get what she's saying here, and I do agree with her, because whenever there's confusion with, okay, what times do the polls close, or we're closing at 7, but you usually stay open to 8, 9, it's just like, what are we doing here? What's really going on? So when she realized that she was losing, this is Jasmine Crockett's remarks. It's 4 minutes where she's quoted saying, we're about to file a lawsuit. And she told the crowd, I'm not coming back out tonight. You will hear from me tomorrow.
Hello, Dallas. How y'all feeling? So I just want to be clear. There's a lot that took place specifically in Dallas County. I'm sure you've been watching the returns, and none of the returns out of Dallas County are quite in yet. Dallas County should have the second largest voter participation of any county in this state. We don't have any of the results because there was a lot of confusion today. And so, our Democratic Party chair, Cardall Coleman, he beat me to the punch, as myself and Colin Allred. We're about to file a lawsuit to keep the voting polls open. We were able to keep the polls open, but I can tell you now that people have been disenfranchised. The reason that we knew that there were problems is because we were receiving the phone calls and the emails. The polls were supposed to stay open until 9, according to a court order. The Supreme Court, just a few minutes ago, just said, shut it down. The Supreme Court also said that they are to separate any votes out that came in after 7 p.m. So here's the deal. I have no idea how it is that clerks are going to know who was in line by what time, because the rule is that if you're in line by 7, then you get to vote. And so once there was a court order saying you had until 9, I'm sure that there were people that joined the line after 7. They now are telling them that you have to separate the votes out. What this means is that we will not know what votes are to be tallied from Election Day out of Dallas County. For sure, we won't know that tonight. So knowing that Dallas County is a big dump of votes, we, in my opinion, will not know the election results overall tonight. We need to see the Dallas County votes to see where they are. I mean, if the early vote comes in, which we may have the early vote soon, if it comes in and I'm losing Dallas County, then we know kind of where this thing is going. So, so that's my news, is that we're not going to have election results tonight, in my opinion, based upon
In her opinion,
what specifically,
because she was losing at this point.
Dallas County. Unfortunately, this is what Republicans like to do. And so they specifically targeted Dallas County, and I think we all know why. So I want you to enjoy yourselves.
Hold on. She's blaming Republicans. Girl, the Republicans ain't thinking about you in Texas, the voters or the candidates. They got to worry about their mess because they're headed to a runoff. And they know Talarico is a threat. Ain't nobody thinking about this girl. Let me back this up.
In my opinion, based upon what specifically is taking place in Dallas County. Unfortunately, this is we tallied from election. In my opinion, will not know the election results overall tonight. We need to see the Dallas County votes to see where they are. I mean, if the early vote comes in, which we may have the early vote soon, if it comes in and I'm losing Dallas County, then we know kind of where this thing is going. So, so that's my news, is that we're not going to have election results tonight, in my opinion, based upon what specifically is taking place in Dallas County. Unfortunately, this is what Republicans like to do. And so they specifically targeted Dallas County, and I think we all know why.
Why? Because you're Black?
So I want you to enjoy yourselves, but I won't be back tonight because I have no idea of when we're going to get results, and I fully anticipate it won't be until tomorrow. So I love y'all too. Thank you so very much for being here. Love you down. I love you down, Dallas.
Girl. According to Google Gemini, key factors: Austin, Talarico was the winner. That's his home field advantage and strong suburban appeal. Dallas County, home base for Crockett, strong support from the Black community. Houston, Harris County, Crockett, high name recognition and urban progressive base. San Antonio, Talarico, professional roots and successful outreach to Latino voters. Rural Texas, Talarico, populist messaging and big tent campaign strategy. Talarico has the whole package. People, Democrats and Republicans, are tired of these radical leftists like a Jasmine Crockett, the AOC, the Mandandis. They're not helping other Democrats such as her running for elections because they're tearing shit up in their own city and district. And she constantly blames Republicans. What rhino will want to even entertain voting for Jasmine Crockett when the only thing she talks about is race and how racist white people are, and she's anti-Trump. I'm not going to want to switch and vote for you. You're crazy. And we all know that she focuses more on illegals. There are majority of Texans are anti-illegals, anti-migrants. They want defense to close up the border, build that wall. Majority of Texans, 70% or more, I would say 80% of Texas is build the wall. They pro the wall. She lost because she is a radical leftist. She lost because she was focused too much on Trump and not on the people. She lost because people don't want to deal with the sister girl attitude, black, white, Latino, what have you. You lost because you insulted white people in Texas, calling them racist, the ones who vote for Trump. And you said the Latinos have a slave mentality, the ones who voted for Trump. That's their home ground. If you don't win the Latino vote by a good percentage, you don't win any election. Now, her little district, she should have just stayed there, but she was about to get voted up out of that, her and Al Green. What do I have? What else do I have here? Oh, no. Let me come back to here because she did break her silence today. Oh, matter of fact, this is what I wanted to bring up. She did concede to Talarico. She said, this morning I called James and congratulated him on becoming the Senate nominee. Texas is primed to turn blue, and we must remain united because this is bigger than any one person. This is about the future of all 30 million Texans and getting America back on track. With the primary behind us, Democrats must rally around our nominees and win. I'm committed to doing my part and will continue working to elect Democrats up and down the ballot. Oh, really? And it says this person here in Dallas County, Texas today, black and brown people like this woman showed up at the polling place and was told that it was only for Republicans now, and they had to go to a different polling place to vote for Democrats. This is voter suppression, and it happens all over Texas. Okay, Republican primary only place. Listen, Dallas, I need to get it together.
Day from being a location where both Democratic and Republican primaries could be voted on to a Republican only location. The voters nor the workers were notified of this change prior to arriving at the recreation center to vote. The poll worker let me know that about 50% of the people who came to vote were not Republican only and had to be turned away. And so the chances of those Democratic primary voters going back to find another location to vote are slim to none. This whole thing is so shady.
Well, listen, why didn't people figure out where you have to vote ahead of time? Or did Dallas change the polling rules? I don't know. But this is Jasmine Crockett breaking her silence from since last night, talking about she's getting ready to file a lawsuit. Well, girl, if you conceded to Talarico, why are you suing? What are you suing for? Because it was your own party. It was a Democrat party that did not back Jasmine Crockett.
I know it's super early.
And her audio went out a little bit here. Jasmine Crockett did not get the support from the DNC from Texas. She did not. That is why you had all these election polls.
Words can't express how excited you made me as I was out on the trail, working to stretch people's imaginations. It's clear that we still have a lot of work to do, even within our party, about making sure that we invest in kind of just doing the right thing sometimes. It's all good though. No matter what, whether it's Kim Paxton or John Cornyn, anyone would be better. I'm just saying. So again, I just wanted to say thank you specifically to the people of Dallas County. I love you so very much. And I woke up still heartbroken about everything that took place. I've got your emails. We received your phone calls about all of the confusion and the many people that just didn't get to vote. We have to fix this going forward. We should not have people being disenfranchised in 2026, even in Texas, specifically in a Democratic county. It breaks my heart. At the end of the day, we were about to file a lawsuit so that we could keep the lines open. The county party chair got it done before we did. And, you know, the judge did the right thing. Texas Supreme Court stepped in. So I just wanted to say again, thank you. I am back to work. I am proud to serve Texas 30 until January of 2027. And then let me send mad love to my pastor, Pastor Freddie Haynes, who will be the congressman for Texas 30.
So, yeah, she's going back to work and she's going to be out of a job January the 1st. Honey, that lawsuit is a day late and $1 short. It's not going to reverse the results. And do you guys remember, during this campaign for the primary, coming out of her camp, there were news reports, oh, she's 10 points ahead, she's 13 points ahead, she's 15 points ahead. But he won by 10 points. So what happened? What happened with Jasmine Crockett campaign? Now, I am going to show you who's taking her. Well, he's not going to take her place, but he won the nominee. I'll get to that in a minute. But I want to play some videos why Jasmine Crockett lost. First of all, her team, she needs a better team. Because
joining me tonight, Democratic Congressman from Texas.
Her team didn't do her any justice in this campaign. She didn't go on Stephen A. Smith. She didn't go on Stephen A. Smith's show. That would have helped. Roland Martin can't do everything. Roland Martin don't have white people appeal. White people don't really watch Roland Martin. They watch Stephen A. Smith, Republicans, Democrat, independents, undecided, and non-voters. She did not, and he kept asking her to come on. And he would have made the interview turn out to be more in her favor. That was a mistake. That was that sister girl attitude. I don't like what you said about me, so I ain't going to give you no airtime. She kept talking about Trump, anti-Trump. That hurt her. She has no appeal to the Latino community because she figured if she's pro-illegals, that would get her Latino votes. No. Jasmine Crockett did not know how to read the room in Texas. And that is because she's not a native Texan. If you are not a native of a state that you are running for office, then you need to make sure that you have a solid team of natives that know what they're doing. Because it's not about national votes. It is about that particular state for Senate. Cory Booker read the room. He was mayor of Newark, so he could get that black vote locked down. Newark is the largest city in New Jersey. A lot of people was pleased with him because he did bring in the big bucks, the corporations, the headlines. And then he also appealed to white voters in the state of New Jersey. And he also got on his knees for the Zionists. He knew how to read the room. This girl, even though Texas have the largest population of Black Americans, not every Black person in Texas is a Democrat. Not every Black person in Texas supports you. And in the state of Texas, to win the Senate seat, you need Latino and white votes the most. So I don't know who was in charge of her campaign, but they failed her. Because she could have did a 180, focus on the people, never mind Trump, and focus on your opponent. But the Democrat Party, the DNC, chose Talarico over her. Bottom line.
Jasmine Crockett. Welcome, Congresswoman. You're in the sprint, full sprint to Tuesday.
And this was 6 days before the election.
As you've heard, many have talked about the different polls. Some polls show a very tight race. But what's your sense on the ground as early voting wraps up, I think, tomorrow?
Yeah, people are fired up. I will tell you that the story that no one realized they were going to have to write is the influence of young women in this election. Young women have been very emotional about my candidacy and about this race. And so they are telling everyone, they're calling their moms, their grandmoms, their dads, and they're like, go vote. You know, I've been on FaceTime talking to some of them. So that's really exciting and encouraging to see. But yes, you put up a poll that is all good. I need Texas to recognize that the last day of early voting is tomorrow, and the only polls that matter are the polls that you show up to vote at.
There could be more Democratic early voters than Republican ones, even though both races, they are competitive. But tell me, Congressman, what message do you think that sends about Texas and really the midterm electorate overall?
Yeah. You know, a lot of people thought I was a crash dummy. They were like, why are you leaving the House? Why are you running for the Senate? It's Texas. And I kept telling people that we have the numbers. We are voter suppressed and there is a bit of voter apathy. But I was like, we can do this. And as you can see right now, we have maintained a lead over the Republicans throughout the entirety of early voting. We'll see if that flips tomorrow. But this tells me that we have enough Texans who just haven't been voting.
You see how she's focusing on Republicans? Who is the we maintain a lead over Republicans? Are you seeing you and Talarico? Two things here. Either you knew you were going to lose against Talarico because he is your adversary in this primary, or are you just that damn delusional? Who is the we? You need to focus on Talarico. Were you beating Talarico in the early voting? Probably not. But you see how she didn't give that information. Stop focusing on the Republicans.
One of the lowest voter turnout states in the entire country. And I kept saying, we just need to turn our people out. We're really not that red. And right now they are coming out in droves. And I'm telling everyone that I talk to, listen, this is great. But if we outvote the Republicans in this primary, I need y'all to understand they are going to do everything that they can in November to preclude us from being able to access the ballot box. So you're going to have to keep this energy and some.
You look ahead to November already, obviously, the general election, and there are critics, as you know, who are arguing that even if you can win the primary, you can't win in the general. They've got Time magazine asking one Republican lawmaker if he feared you or James Talarico, and he was blunt, saying she can't win, he can. What's your response to this assumption that you have a shortcoming in that area?
I mean, listen, I don't know who telegraphs who it is that they want to go against. I really don't. All I can tell you is that right now the governor of Texas is spending over $3 million specifically against me running ads. So it doesn't sound like
they want to go against me. But I do also know that the Republicans are very good at throwing bombs. They did the exact same thing when they decided to tell all the Democrats that, oh, Joe Biden is old and oh, he is senile. So therefore, you guys need to get rid of Joe Biden. And so what did we do? We went ahead and got rid of Joe Biden. And at the end of the day, what did they do? They elected a old senile con man instead. So they love to kind of stir us up and have us decide to play off of their rhetoric. Democrats need to focus on the prize. We don't need Republicans telling us what can and can't happen. Instead, we need to do what we know how to do best, which is to send a fighter back to DC. For everyone that is concerned about my voice being absent, we know the truth. We know that we can send me back to DC. We know that Senator John Cornyn specifically said, if you choose wrong, we may lose this seat. We also know that I am the only Democrat that is consistently polled ahead of a Republican in multiple polls, both internal as well as independent polls. So listen, forget all the noise. The reality is that we can do whatever it is that we put our mind to. Many people did not think that we would flip that Senate seat in Texas, but we swung at 30 points. Many people didn't see a Black woman being elected the mayor of Leander. There was a +4 Trump seat, but she swung that seat 17 points. So listen, forget all of that and mind your business. I'm telling everybody, don't mess with Texas, and we're going to do what needs to be done.
Will you change your approach on Tuesday if you win? Because you'd have to bring in, obviously, more than just Democrats who have not been voting. You'd have to pull independents as well to win that Senate seat. Do you have what it takes to do that?
I do. The University of Houston polling that came out right before this most recent poll, it showed that I do really well with independents and Republicans, actually. So I do think that depending on who the nominee is, different groups may be more inclined to come over here. But at the end of the day, we're going to continue to talk about the things that unite us and not divide us. And frankly, whether you're a Democrat, Republican, or independent, if you feel as if your paychecks are too short, then you've got a spot over here. If you feel as if your rent is too high, then you have a spot over here. If you feel as if you don't know how it is that you're going to ever be able to afford healthcare, then you have a spot over here. So that, I mean, we're focusing on very simple messages, and we are not going to allow the culture wars to become the conversation. Instead, we're going to focus on what is actually impacting our lives. And I think no matter who you are, right now, things are looking kind of bleak.
You know, you mentioned a couple times now Governor Greg Abbott. I know we're short on time, but running for re-election, not for Senate, by the way, but he is spending a lot of money on the attack ads against you. Do you think that people who are saying and suggesting that Republicans want to face you in November because they believe you're somehow easier to beat, what is your reaction to that?
I think no matter who you are, right now, things are looking kind of bleak.
You know,
things are looking bleak for you, Jasmine. Those Republicans and independents, girl, did not vote for you. They voted for Talarico. They voted for Talarico, girl, not you. They didn't care about you. They didn't want you. Your own party didn't want you. Your own party. And she keeps like, oh, they're spending, the Democrats spend all this money on attack ads against me. No, they did not. No, they did not.
So you have a YouTube.
They're gearing up.
From a high-stakes set of primaries down in Texas that could determine control of the Senate. One race is headed to a runoff, while the other could be stuck in the courts. News Nation national correspondent Xavier Walton is live for us in Austin this morning. Xavier, talk about a pretty fitting end, I'd say, for two of the most hotly contested primaries we'll likely see all year.
Marky, good morning. Yeah, it was fitting, and drama certainly did not disappoint here in the Lone Star State. It was a late night, and the action certainly not over. The Republican Senate candidates, you mentioned it, they are heading for a runoff. Let's start with incumbent Senator John Cornyn and Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton set to head-to-head on May 26th after splitting the vote Tuesday night. Our partners at Decision Desk HQ show Cornyn leading with 42% to Paxton's nearly 41%. We said it was close, and that's how close it was. Congressman Wesley Hunt considered a long shot, finishing with a little more than 13%. And this was the most expensive Senate primary in U.S. history. Cornyn alone by himself spending more than $71 million.
I refuse to allow a flawed, self-centered, and shameless candidate like Ken Paxton risk everything we've worked so hard to build over these many years. There is simply too much at stake in this midterm election for our state and for our country.
Here's what we proved tonight. While the money may be on his side, the people are on our side. And in Texas, the people always win.
All right, so now the Texas Democratic Senate primary also heated, with moderate state rep James Talarico squaring off with progressive Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. All right, DDHQ projects Talarico as the winner with just over 53% of the vote. And while no Democrat has won a statewide race in Texas since 1994, Talarico says he's confident things are changing.
He's right. Things are changing. Listen, honey, I had to put on the cowgirl hat. I forgot. We're talking about taxes. We're talking about cowboy land, honey. Yes, my Stetson land, honey. Yes. The fuck. Anna look cute. Honey, she's not. Jasmine Crockett is not Texan. She's not. Why? Okay, how many times did this girl wear a cowboy hat? And you know why I wasn't going to work for her? Because she never, even though she's not a native, she never embedded herself in the Texas culture. She did not. Texas has a rich culture, no matter what background. She should have been a Latina. She should have been white. She should have been black. You know, she should have been all of these things. But she kept giving us this funky black girl attitude as if she's from the projects. Girl, project people don't vote. They don't really have power to get you in any office. Talarico read the room. And he didn't really need any black votes. But I'm pretty sure black conservative, whether they're Democrat, Republican, voted for him. He wasn't talking black. Not yet. But he going to be talking black to win some Republicans, some black Republicans. This is a large black Republican base in Texas. Wesley Hunt got 13%. And I think he threw his hat in the race late.
I think Republicans boosting Jasmine Crockett is definitely for a specific reason. They see her as easy to beat. I think if the race comes down to someone like Ken Paxton, while he's the MAGA candidate, he also comes with all this baggage. A lot of people just don't like him. They see him as a bad person. This is going to be perhaps Democrats' best shot to win. So Democrats, they're making this calculation. They're thinking, okay, I like James Talarico. I also like Jasmine Crockett. Who could beat Ken Paxton, though? Who could appeal to more Republicans in Texas, which is what you have to do to win in that state? So I think Republicans are probably smart to be pushing the less popular candidate to sort of hope that she wins, because a lot is riding on this for them. You'll hear from her and her team that Republicans are afraid of her specifically because of how energetic her voters are. I don't think that's true. I don't think Republicans are afraid of Jasmine Crockett. I think this is a very calculated move. They think she's the weaker candidate.
Well said. Because she is. She is the weaker candidate. So, of course, and this is the problem where Jasmine Crockett did not read the room. Because you had Cardi B endorsing you.
Listen up, y'all. Early primary voting is happening right now in Texas. And we need Jasmine Crockett to win. She is running for U.S. Senate. And if you want somebody that's going to fight for your right, if you want somebody to fight for your community, if you want somebody that's going to go up there and represent you and represent your issues, please vote for my sister Jasmine Crockett. Because one thing about it, she's going to fight her best. She's going to fight whoever she has to, so your voice and your problems could be heard. Vote right now. This counts so much. Vote right now. Listen up, y'all. Early primary voting is happening.
So, again, when we talk about this is why, and the people of Texas, don't like Jasmine Crockett because she's not a native. Why would you have Cardi B? If Cardi B wanted to do it on her own accord, fine. But she was paid to do that. Why didn't you ask Megan Thee Stallion, who is a Texas native? Why didn't you ask the local celebrities to come out and support you? She's from the Bronx, New York. She helps Mendandi and AOC. Girl, she don't got nothing to do with Texas. This is not a national election. This is for the state of Texas. Why do you have Megan Thee Stallion? Why do you have any other celebrities from Texas? Even some white ones. There are a lot of white country Texan singers that are Democrat. Whoever was running her campaign did a horrible job. Like, what are you doing? Honey, Marjorie Taylor Greene excused herself because she knew, being that her and Trump had a falling out, he was going to endorse her opponent. So she wasn't going to win. So now we don't have Marjorie Taylor Greene, and we're about to not have Jasmine Crockett, the two big mouths. But I would say this, Marjorie Taylor Greene know how to read the room because she excused herself. She excused herself from the chessboard because she knew she could not go up against Donald Trump in an election. So we don't got to worry about Jasmine Crockett. No, I think we do. Someone's going to give her a podcast or a TV show. But are we really going to care? Do we really want to see Jasmine Crockett interview people? No. Do we really want to see Jasmine Crockett in the morning with Jasmine Crockett? No. She maybe end up on a CNN panel. Who cares? Because Scott Jennings would drag her. I'd love to see that in 2027 on a CNN panel with Abby Phillips and Scott Jennings and Jasmine Crockett. Oh, he'll drag her ass.
The coddling is for the white boys. That's what's happening right now. I am tired of the white tears. Listen, if you are competent, you are not concerned. When I walk into Congress every single day, you know why I don't feel away and why you can't make me doubt who I am? Is because I know that I had to work 10 times as hard as they did just to get into the seat. When you look and you compare me to Marjorie Taylor Greene or me to Lauren Boebert, there is no comparison. And that is the life that we have always lived. The coddling is for the white boys. That's what's happening right now. I am tired of the white tears. Listen.
There were no white tears last night, Miss Thing. No, no, no. There were no white tears. Now, this is her pastor, Dr. Frederick D. Haynes. This is the man that won the nomination for Jasmine Crockett District 30.
Because I recognize that we got to be pro-Israel. Yeah, we got to do that. Or we get in trouble. Well, I'm coming to get in trouble. Israel, and I'm going to quote Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter says that Israel is engaging in apartheid with Palestinians. And so the Palestinians who don't have the weaponry of Israel, the Palestinians don't have the financial backing from the United States that Israel has. And so they throw their rocks and shoot their arrows, and Israel is able to bomb them and kill them. Watch in the news the disparity between Palestinians being killed and Israelis being killed. It is totally unfair, but this country is going to stand on the side of apartheid because that's its track record. It stood by apartheid in South Africa because it created apartheid in this country.
So that is the man. That's her pastor in Texas. He won the nomination. Frederick Haynes wins Democrat nomination to replace Jasmine Crockett in U.S. House District 30, right? And I guess he's anti-Israel. He may not win. Who knows? Yeah, so he won, and he's going up against, because I don't really care about his resume. Who is he going up against? Yes. So he advances to the November general election. He will face off Everett Jackson, Sheldon Daniels. I've been seeing him on X a lot. Gregorio Heiss or Niles Walker. Jackson was slightly ahead of the pack Wednesday morning, but without a clear margin of victory that would avoid a runoff. Sheldon Daniels, a couple of people have interviewed him, I believe, on X and their podcast. I think he's anti-reparations. But again, this is District 30, Jasmine Crockett seat, and her pastor might win. He might win. And so we might see another pulpit pimp in Congress. Warnock is there. That's another pulpit pimp that's in Congress right now. So we may get another. Listen, District 30 is black. It's mixed, but it's highly blue and liberal. We don't care about all that. We don't. But we don't got to worry about this no more.
You just voted to do it.
Y'all did it first, so you don't want to talk about
voted to do it.
Order.
I'm trying to get clarification.
Look at, calm down. Calm
down. No, because this is what
y'all
do. So I'm trying to get
Miss
clarification.
Crockett, you're not recognized. Miss
I can't hear
Crockett.
you with your
And
yelling.
You don't want me
calm
to
down.
Be,
Can you please calm down?
Don't tell me to calm down.
Calm down.
Because y'all talk
calm
noise
down.
and then you
You're
can't
out of
take
control.
Because if
Look,
I
Chairman,
come and talk shit about her, y'all gonna have a problem.
Mr.
Chairman.
All right, Chair.
I don't know why
Okay.
you're
Order.
acting
Chair
like
now
that.
recognizes
Not cute.
Miss Green for 4 minutes and 21 seconds. 4 minutes. Let Miss Green talk, and then you all can. I'll recognize.
But I move to strike her words for a second time based on her second set of personal remarks attacking another member.
Who? Chairman Comer.
Because you all cannot
I have an
seem
amendment at
to
the desk,
apply
and this
the rules
sideshow
of the
needs to
committee.
stop.
We have to do this every time.
Hey, I'm recognized. I'm recognized. I'm going to go ahead and start talking.
Look, I know. Look, I don't know if you noticed it. I have 2 hearing aids. I'm very deaf. I'm not understanding. Everybody's yelling. I'm doing the best I can. Can we not recognize Ms. Green and let her
We
get?
cannot because of the rules of the committee, Mr. Chair. That is what I'm trying to communicate in the present moment.
We have a okay, what's the motion? What's
The motion.
Child. So, yeah.
Okay.
We don't got to worry about this no more. In a year. Marjorie, so all the loudmouths are being voted out. And that should tell you something. It should tell you that the American people, they're tired of your nonsense. Politicians, just do your job. Represent the district. See, Jasmine Crockett was busy doing this. Taking pictures with illegals. Steps up appeals to Latinos with ICE facility visit in South Texas. No, girl. A lot of Latinos, particularly in Texas, are anti-illegals. Jasmine Crockett focused on illegals and trans. She wasn't even focused on LGBTQ. She was focused on transgender women and illegals. Now you out of a damn job. You couldn't even get out of the primary. The Republicans do not respect her. Half of the Democrat Party, half of the DNC do not respect her. She's not respected. If you want to run around here like Miss Ghetto Queen, then you want to get ghetto results. Guys, please hit the like button. I do have a goal. If you would like to donate via Super Chat, I do have a goal. Hit the like button and share this video. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Couple of other stuff that I want to talk about. outside of Jasmine Crockett, but let me make sure I did all the important videos. Oh, I want to play this one. So another reason here, how Jasmine Crockett did not know how to read the room, you should not insult your voters or people who you need to vote for you.
That has some Democrats worried about your ability to win statewide. In a December 2024 Vanity Fair profile, you talked about, quote, and I'm going to read a lot of the quote just to put it in the context, quote, all the complexities within the Latino community. The immigration thing has always been something that has perplexed me about this community. It's basically like, I fought to get here, but I left y'all where I left y'all, and I want no more y'all to come here. If I wanted to be with y'all, I would stay with y'all, but I don't want y'all coming to my new home. It almost reminds me of what people would talk about when they would talk about kind of like slave mentality and the hate that some slaves would have for themselves. It's almost like a slave mentality that they have. Now, about the time that that was published last year, around 1 million Latino voters in Texas were voting for Trump. Do they all have slave mentality?
No, and that's not what that said at all, to be clear. It did not say that every Latino has that type of mentality.
No, but the ones that vote for people who believe in strong or Trump's immigration policies.
So I don't believe that the people that voted for Trump believe in what they're actually getting. That is number one. What Trump said is that he was going to kick out the bad guys. And that's what I was talking about. I've been down to the border. I've been down to South Texas. I've campaigned down there. And so I am talking about exactly what was going on when I was down there on behalf of the Beto campaign. In fact, when he was running for governor, I was sent as a surrogate. And I said, talk to me about what is going on. Why is it that they believe that they can win Latinos down here? Like, I don't understand what's happening. And there were people that were saying that they had fought and they had done everything the right way, and that there were bad people that were coming that were doing it the wrong way. And so they were saying, no, we left. And I mean, when you think about people that are leaving asylum, they are leaving areas and situations that they feel like are harmful to them. So yes, they're like, no, I don't want to be in this dangerous situation. And that's what I meant. But at the same time, I knew what Trump meant, because Trump had a record. Trump had a record of locking up kids and putting them in cages. So I knew what Trump meant. And so that's why it wasn't making sense to me. And ultimately right now, I just came from a joint hearing that we were having on the Senate side. It's the Senate as well as the House. The first time I've had a joint hearing ever since I have been in the House. Mm-hmm. And I was listening to Latino American citizens that have been arrested by this regime. Some of those people may have voted for Trump. I don't know. But they agree that what he's doing now is wrong. And it's about right versus wrong and not right versus left. And he sold them a bag of goods.
No, he did not. You said, girl, in quote, slave mentality. Latinos vote, no matter the socioeconomic status. They vote heavy. And they're not all Democrat, especially in these red states. There are a lot of Republican Latinos. You have to win a good percentage of Latino votes in the state of Texas. I'm not from Texas. I'm not from the South, but I know that. A damn toddler knows that. So you saying, because maybe you wasn't trying to run for Senate then, but you saying slave mentality, and you're so comfortable with that. And then you also said black people tired of picking cotton, bitch. You lost the vote. And you calling white people that voted for Trump racist. Texas is a racist state. Don't nobody got time for that. Don't nobody got time for that. Don't nobody want to, don't. First of all, who wants to be labeled as a racist or labeled to be having a slave mentality. You cannot insult people and then expect for them to vote for you because you don't like Trump. Well, I do. I like him. There are a lot of people who like Trump, but they would still vote for Talarico when he in the Senate race. So why is it that Talarico got some Republicans and independents to vote for him, and these are people who voted for Trump? You have to get Trump. If you are a Democrat in Texas running for Senate seat, you have to have Trump voters vote for you. That's it. Now, not now, and I didn't have time today, but I'm going to put a collage of Jasmine Crockett's best moments together so we could drag her some more. But Miss Thing lost. She should be embarrassed. She should be ashamed. She should feel stupid. She should, all of those feelings she should have, because she could have won the primary. Oh, and by the way, Talarico, he raised $20 million. Jasmine Crockett only raised $7.9 million. So rounded off $8 million. So he could easily outspend her. More people donated to Talarico than Jasmine Crockett. And a lot of that money came from DNC, people donating to the DNC, and the DNC funneled that money to Talarico war chest. She only 8 million. She only raised 8 million for this campaign. He raised 20 million. He ain't fucking around. He wants to be senator. Now, whether he has AIPAC putting a battery in his back, I don't know, because he ain't showing it. And that's the right play. Girl, you didn't even raise 10 million because you want to be pro-black. I'm sorry. If you want to be a politician, you can't be pro-black. Black people don't have the money to donate in large amounts. I'm sorry. Black people are least likely to donate to a political candidate. So you have to learn to appease. You have to be diverse. All that black, brown shit, no. You have to be diverse. You have to know how to talk to white people, to conservative Latinos, to Asians, to Muslims. Yeah. To wealthy people. All that pro-black, that's for the birds. Ain't nobody thinking about that pro-black shit right now. So let's go back to New Jersey, because I'm going to bring a little bit of the migrant crises. Guys, please hit the like button. And listen, if you guys are offended by, me saying that, as far as, white, black people least likely to put like this, to vote. I mean, to contribute to political candidates. I'm going to do a video on that. Thank you, Courtney Smith says, damn, you're beautiful today, Dan. Thank you, Courtney. Crockett chasing that political bag. Yeah. Catalia says, Dana, recent changes in the primary voting rules have led to separate polling places for Democrats and Republicans. This shift was initiated by local Republican parties. Okay. And I have to keep reminding myself, this is a primary. Primary is different from the general election. Okay. So it makes sense. Primary, we want our own polling places separated from Democrats. That makes sense now. Because if you have a Republican polling place, You don't have to worry about the cheating of Democrats stuffing ballots for Democrats, So maybe that's why. So, okay, primary voting polls changed. Thank you, Jay Hunter. You spoke it before I could type it. She couldn't read the room. Yeah, she could not read the room. You better thank a union worker. Child with the sound bites. Anyway, let's go to Newark real quick, honey, because I have not talked about the migrant crises that is still going on, right? Well, honey, ICE came to Newark, and in typical nigger fashion, they call themselves standing up to the ICE agents.
The Justice Department appears.
I'll beat you the fuck up out here. Fuck you think you talking about? Yo, you throw that mace, I'm gonna make you. Play with me. Serve the people. You supposed to work for the people. These motherfuckers, no, but you talking to me. You should be talking to them. Turn around and look at them before they grab her. Turn around and look at them before they grab her, bro. Tough if you want.
Y'all chasing immigrants, and you motherfuckers are immigrants.
I ain't chasing motherfuckers in the goddamn snow. Hold up, you should be arresting these motherfuckers.
Fact.
These motherfuckers should be in cuffs. They shouldn't be fucking standing around. Whoever was driving that G-Ride should be in fucking cuffs.
Fact.
And pull the fucking mask down. Look at this fucking Tom ass. Ain't nobody threatening them. They the one that's running people over.
They not even supposed
How
to
you
be
feel
here.
about yourself, nigga?
Right, but get them the fuck out of here. They got what they want. Get them the fuck out of here. Like, they got what they want. Get them the fuck out of here. For real.
Yo, record what he say. The nigga lying. The nigga lying. The nigga lying. Hold up.
I got Big Brian here.
She look like she got some Spanish people in her family. You're out here doing this shit. You should ashamed of yourself. For the love of money. For the love of fucking money. You go out here trying to kill your own people. You disgusting. Hold up. I'll be broke for the rest of my life if I do this goofy shit. Fuck y'all niggas doing? Working for Trump? That's what the fuck you doing? You a savage. Fucking secret police. That's what the fuck your parents raised? This what they raised y'all to be? Goddamn savages. For fucking money, bro. For fucking money. For money, you motherfuckers take these jobs and shit. Y'all some fucking scumbags. Nah, let that nigga try that shit. I'll beat the shit out of my head. I don't need no fucking gun. I don't need no mace. I'll beat the shit out of that nigga. He can stand. He want to fight, we can get it shaking out here. He can stand.
Now, the guy, he kind of has a point there.
Hurt somebody. He got innocent people in the car. Look what they did.
So, yeah, the ICE agents, doing too much. Doing way too much and getting sometimes little results. So a car crash involving ICE agents in Newark led to multiple vehicle crash that resulted in injuries, including injuring 3 children. That is a no-no. It shouldn't have happened.
Look what ICE just did. Look at ICE. Look at ICE. Look at ICE. Y'all some fucking bastards. Y'all almost killed people. Y'all got kids in these cars. Look at this shit. Y'all see this shit? Y'all see this shit from my window? You almost killed somebody. Y'all almost killed somebody just now. You almost killed them kids. What is your badge numbers? What are your badge numbers? What are your badge numbers?
Yeah, she asking for the badge numbers. Like, girl, bye. This is ICE. This is federal. Go have a seat. Go have a seat. Because listen, I understand. I get it. It was kids involved in these cars. Now, ICE is needed. And I heard in another video, the guy was like, I'm foundational. Okay, sit your ass down somewhere and let ICE do their job. Now, if you want to defend the children being injured, okay, that's one thing. Great. However, all that puffing your chest out, because they really wanted ICE to probably shoot them so they could sue, but that's the federal government. You wasn't going to get no money. They probably want another Alex Pretty moment. Who knows? But the thing is, Y'all motherfuckers in Newark don't have this outrage when a child is shot and killed by another person or a stray bullet. Y'all motherfuckers don't go out and raise hell for that. I'm cursing now because this is towards the end of the show. Y'all don't raise hell for that. But it's ICE involved, and and everybody want to be glued to the news outlets, and you want to listen to the Jasmine Crockett's and the Mayor Ross Barakas and stuff like that, who was protesting at a ICE detention center that wasn't even in Newark. It was, I believe that was in Kearney. Y'all let that get to your head, but y'all motherfuckers never come out and raise hell to protect your community for savages that your child is being hit and killed by stray bullets or a gang member or what have you. There's no uproar when it's that. If this wasn't ICE and this happened, because we always have some type of accidents involved, whether it's a bus, drunk driver, or just somebody driving stupid or bad weather, people don't get outraged like this. They only talking shit is because it's ICE. Let's keep it a buck. Born and raised in East Orange, all my adult life in Newark. I know how y'all niggas get down. I know what you do and what you don't do. You need to have this energy for when young people are being shot and killed, or stolen cars, or for homeless, or kids doing better in school, or mentorship, or whatever. But because it's ICE and you want to go viral, you want to raise hell for some fucking illegals that was protected under the sanctuary city, because Newark is a sanctuary city, and they got free rent, food stamps, a check, a job, transportation, education over your dumbass that is American citizen on your tax dollars. So those illegals who you get in the face of ICE who's trying to deport, you're trying to protect illegals that came in there and got all types of fucking resources over you. Because majority of black people in Newark live at or below the poverty line. So honestly, I say all that to say, I don't want to hear all this, oh, get the F out of here, y'all ain't shit. No. We need more boots to the ground, more ICE agents.
Scene that unfolded in Newark. City officials saying that ICE agents were chasing a van when that van slammed into several cars. One of them full of children headed to school. Eyewitness News reporter Anthony Carlo with what went down.
They almost hurt somebody. They got innocent people in the car. Look what they did. Look what ICE just did.
Angry bystanders congregated at the scene of the crash at 8:20 this morning. This was the mess after Newark officials say a man who tried to flee ICE crashed into two vehicles. One of them, a rideshare vehicle with children inside.
One girl, I don't know exactly her age, but I know she was crying hysterically. Both of them was telling us like they head hurting. And the little boy, I don't know what happened to his foot, but he was limping the whole time.
Shamad Davis witnessed the chaos at Clinton and Shanley Avenues. The two 15-year-olds and a 12-year-old had nothing to do with the ICE operation, but became collateral damage when the car they were in was hit by a van wanted by ICE.
They did wrong too, because you can't chase him. If you chase, because you chasing him is the reason why he even said, "Oh, I'm gonna floor it more."
Just hours after that mayhem unfolded, the mayor of Newark tonight signing an executive order intended to make it a lot more difficult for ICE to carry out enforcement operations in the city of Newark.
ICE cannot come into our public buildings if they are not doing public business without a judicial warrant.
Mayor Baraka's executive order also empowers all city workers to be legal observers of ICE activity, mandated to document what they see.
I didn't touch you. I did not touch you. I just need the badge number.
Just as bystanders did after this crash. Any trepidation that you could have an Alex Preddy happen in Newark?
Well, I mean,
what happened in Minnesota could happen anywhere, right? Without any checks.
The mayor says the city will attempt to check federal power by encouraging state action against illegal vehicle pursuits.
We're going to use the police report and the information that we have and report it to the governor's office. That could have easily turned into something disastrous.
In Newark, Anthony Curlo.
So again, like I said, if you're not raising hell to protect children every day in urban areas, Newark, East Orange, Elizabeth, Jersey City, it don't matter. The Bronx, it don't matter. If you are not doing something to make sure children are getting a good education, safety, the seniors are safe, women, if you are not trying to make sure that you are building your community to be prosperous, economically, socially, health-wise, and everything, if you cannot raise hell to protect children any other day and fight back against the crime, the everyday crime, the gun violence, the drugs, I don't want to hear shit about you complaining about ICE. You sound stupid. You could complain about ICE when you start complaining about what is going on every single day in your backyard and front yard and up the street. Other than that, you don't get to complain about shit. Because yes, those illegals got free healthcare, free housing, free education, work, transportation, food stamps, welfare. They even got money, $3,000 from Trump to self-deport. 3 or 5,000. But I'm foundational. Okay, nigga, so what are you doing with that? Because it was a kid. After that, it made the news that a couple of kids got shot and killed by another kid. Where was the outcry for that? So yeah, miss me with all that extra bullshit. One last thing here. I guess I'm gonna touch on Iran. So we have this American breaks down in tears wanting to leave Dubai. An American woman stranded in Dubai begs President Trump, saying, please help me get back home. She traveled to Dubai to celebrate her 30th birthday. Well, where your friends at? Girl, go to the U.S. Embassy. Trump can't help you. And I know Karen Levette said today, listen, if you are American stranded somewhere, they're going to get charter planes or whatever. Girl, you're supposed to go to American Embassy. FYI, anytime as an American, when you travel outside the country, you need to let the embassy of that country you're traveling to call them and let them know I'm traveling to this country where you're at. So just put me on the list just in case something happened. You have my information in the database. So you're always supposed to alert the U.S. Embassy of the country you are traveling to. Go to the U.S. Embassy in Dubai, girl, and figure it out.
Hey, y'all. As you know, I'm the girl that decided to spend her 30th birthday in Dubai. And I'm coming on here very humbly, asking my president to just seize it. I'm an American taxpaying citizen. And I've now been stuck over here since the 24th. I've been blessed to be able to buy 3 different flights from 3 different airlines, and they've all been canceled. I don't know who this will reach. I don't know if it'll reach anyone.
But I am not the person who gets on here like this. But I am desperate to get home to my family.
Honey, that thing says 16 hours in economy. Oh, no. And that's your birthday? Oh, I'm doing first class. I'm not flying 16 hours in no goddamn economy. And she got Dubai to Houston. Girl, why you just didn't get a flight to London?
So I'm asking, I'm pleading. Please just, whoever can help us, please just help. And it's not even about the financial part. We just don't have a way out. Every time we try, it gets canceled. So I'm putting myself out here on the internet, as humble as I know how, to just get some help. Thank you.
She don't, and here's the problem that I have with that. Have you been watching the news, Miss Thing? Go to Homeland Security, the U.S. Department or U.S. Embassy of Dubai website. Get in the Uber and drive there. So you could speak to someone or you could talk to. Listen, I called the U.S. Embassy on the phone, honey, over in Morocco when my daughter was over there and spoke to somebody. Call them on the phone or book a flight to Europe and then figure it out. Don't book a flight from Dubai straight to United States. Book it or book a flight to Turkey. You in Dubai, or go to book a flight to Kenya, just so that you are away from that area. Kateri says, Dana, recent changes to, oh no, not this one. What am I doing? Secretary Mark Rubio mentioned that Americans in the Middle East needing assistance should register with the State Department, which has provided a website and numbers for contact. But this is what I'm saying about y'all young people. You so busy trying to get online and start crying so you could go viral instead of handling your business. Go to the State Department website and follow directions. If you go to the embassy website, it'll lead you to that. Like, girl, why you online recording yourself crying? Trump is not going to give you a call like, okay, I'm sending the Trump plane for you. No. Your 30th birthday, and honestly, I would stay put. Because I heard they ain't bombing Dubai like that. Girl, stay where you at. And then you will also have the U.S. Embassy compensate your hotel. So what we talking about here? Doing too much and doing nothing at all at the same time. Like, I'm not crying online. I'm knocking on the embassy door. Hello. Matter of fact, you can't stay at the embassy. They say, listen, you could stay at the hotel up the street. And matter of fact, honey, I wouldn't even want to go to the embassy because that's going to be the first place they bomb. Whatever hotel or Airbnb you at, girl, stay there. Or get a flight to England. Or Kenya, or Uganda, somewhere in East Africa or South Africa. And then fly out back over to the United States. And you talking about the money ain't the problem. Flying economy, it seems like you want a budget. If you don't sit down and leave me alone, this is my dog. But you sitting there crying, looking stupid. I'm not doing 16 hours on economy. I always travel first class if I'm flying over 2 hours. 2 hours plus, I do first class. I would do economy, and I want to be in the comfort all the way in the front, right behind first class if I'm under 2 hours. So I'm in Cleveland. From Cleveland to New York, well, Newark Airport, literally 45 minutes in the air. So a total of 90 minutes because takeoff, landing, but 45 minutes in the air. I don't need first class for that because I flew first class for that. And it's like I'm not wasting money on that. Over 2 hours, I do first class. Under 2, I just do the comfort economy. 16 hours, bitch, please. I'm doing business where I need a bed. I'm not, she's talking about something she paid for 2 tickets. You better get your money back. I'm not spending money on that. My ass would be an extended stay in Dubai. Girl, this will be over in 2 weeks. And I wouldn't want to get on no goddamn plane. I don't care if it's Bahrain, Dubai. I'm not getting on no goddamn plane over there. Because they still sending missiles up in the air. But other than that, yeah, take your ass to the State Department website and fill out that goddamn paperwork so they know where you at since you didn't contact the U.S. Embassy. Because Britain, honey, Britain and India, they told all their people, get your ass on this plane so we could bring you home. And I would have got right on that plane with the Brits. Like, excuse me, I'm an American, we're cousins, so I'm just going to hop on this plane. And then I'm going to leave from Britain, from England, London to Houston. Or I'm just going to stay my ass where I'm at. And if you went there for your birthday, you ain't meet somebody with some goddamn money. I don't know. It's just too much. It's too much. And she sound like she by herself, but you young people need to get offline and just handle your business. I can't. I cannot. But listen, this was cute today. This was nice. This was a good show. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. You know, please like, please share. You better thank a union member. Jasmine Crockett lost. Good. She didn't deserve to win. I knew she wasn't going to win. And listen, do we care about the Republican race? Not really, unless something juicy come out. You know, I may still cover it a little bit here and there, but ain't nobody paying that no mind. I gotta pin my hair up. And that's it, guys. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel, The Real Dana. Hit the bell button to get all notifications. And like, share this video. Go and comment in the comment section. And I will see you guys in the next video. Oh, I did do a poll. I meant to switch up the polls, but I'll be forgetting. Did Jasmine Crockett lose due to cheating? 800 people voted, and 799 people voted, and 81% said no, 19% said yes. That girl, she lost because she wasn't. They got tired. Oh, let me do this PSA for Black women. The sister girl era is over. The sister girl era is over. This administration, like him or not, it's about business. It's always been about business with Trump. Get to the business. Men are tired of the sister girl. Black men are tired of it. White men, you know, even they're tired of it. Everybody's tired of it. Even illegals tired of it. But the sister girl era is over. It's done. It's over. Thank Jasmine Crockett for that. And the squad. Thank them for that. Because it's done with. And I say all that to say it is about business, and I'm speaking to Black Americans Foundation of Black Americans, but it's about business. Start putting money behind candidates. And they don't have to be, I would do someone local. You know, start worrying about your money, your 401k, your IRAs, your investment businesses. Start focusing on your community. Start investing in the youth, in your kids and the youth where you live at. Sister girl era is over. People are tired of it. It's not beneficial. It does not win elections anymore. It's done. Thank Kamala Harris. Thank Jasmine Crockett. You know, thank these people. And I'm glad that it's over with, because no one could really relate to it except for a very small population. And it does not bring in the right results, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat. The sister girl, because there's some of these sister girls on the Republican side. I just ain't saying much because I don't go after other people like that. But I see y'all little fake Black conservatives as well. So whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, the sister girl era is done. And don't just blame it all on Democrats, because y'all so-called fake ass Black conservative, y'all just looking for a come up. And when you know how people do this, I can't stand this gesture here. What the fuck is this? This is so stupid. This here, that's done with. That's old. It's ilk. That irritates me. What is that supposed to mean? That's so stupid. And this is part of that sister girl thing. No, it's not cute. It's not cute at all. Thank you, Alonzo. I can't stand the Dems, but they always leaving their sister girls out to dry because they do it to themselves. Yes, the Democrat Party is racist. They're going to pick a white woman or a white guy, whether he gay or straight, over a Black girl. Why? Because the Black girls do it to themselves. You sit up here, you allow people to tell you to put on that sister girl persona, because she is not from the projects or the hood or low income. She is from upper class, Jasmine Crockett. So you allow white people to tell you how to act, and you do it like an idiot. So I blame not the Democrats, not the Republicans. I blame the sister girls, and they're on both sides. But no. Ugh. Thank you, Alonzo. Appreciate you. Yeah, is that what it means? That's clock it. How is this clock it? How is this a clock? What is that supposed to mean? Clock it? What? Clock what? Clock it meaning, oh, I beat you to the punchline, or what does clock it mean? Now, I'll clock someone over their head. I'm familiar with that. But what is this clock it shit? And why does this mean clock it? When people do this, it reminds me of like poetry. When people snap, instead of clapping, you snap when somebody reading poetry. So what is this? Clock it. And what does clock it mean? Thank you again, Alonzo. Yeah, she played herself. That's what I'm saying. Get rid of this shit. Do this. Shit. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful week. And I don't know, maybe I'll see you Friday, maybe not, but make sure you hit the bell button when you subscribe so you get all of the uploads and premieres. Have a wonderful week. Bye. Oh, I got to do my outro. And my dog popped right up. He know what bye mean too. He mad because he want to go out on that porch. Honey, you gonna wait.